Well, on sports this morning, the Super Falcons saw their Women's Africa Cup of Nations title defense come to an agonizing end last night, falling to a 1-0 defeat to eternal rivals Cameroon in a fiercely contested quarter-final clash in Casablanca. Cameroon struck early in the 19th minute, capitalizing on a well-struck free kick to break the deadlock against the run of play. But despite dominating territorial possession, pinning the indomitable Lionesses inside their own half, and relentless attacking waves throughout the stoppage time, the Falcons were unable to breach a resilient Cameroonian defense wall. And, of course, chances for the likes of Esther Okoronkwo and Ashishat Oshoala, but unfortunately, we couldn't get much from that game. As things stand, Nigeria will face South Africa's Bayana later this week for a place in the Intercontinental Playoff for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup Finals in Brazil. And the four semi-finalists, the host Morocco. Of course, we have Algeria, their North African neighbors. The Flames of Malawi, who have also made it into the next round, will all be representing Africa in the Mundial next year in Brazil. And so Nigeria would have to go through the playoff. Remember, the Super Eagles had gone through a similar route, but were knocked out by DR Congo in that playoff arrangement. Well, will the Super Falcons be able to go all the way? If they win this one, they will now go all the way to an intercontinental playoff. I mean, look at all the stress we have to go through just to get to the World Cup. In the case of the Super Eagles, it didn't work. Let's better hope this time it's going to work. It was a really sad day for Nigerian football yesterday because elsewhere, Nigeria's Flying Eagles fell 4-1 to Burkina Faso in the final of the 2026 WAFCON Zone B on the 20 Championship on Sunday at the Stade Charles Konan Bani in the Ivorian city of Yamoussoukro. It was a tough afternoon for the defending champions, who were undone by a blistering first-half display from the young Stallions and could not recover despite a spirited second-half push. Burkina Faso came out with clear intent and took full control inside the first 45 minutes. 3 quick-fire goals puts the Burkina Babes 3-0 up at the break, exposing the gaps in Nigeria's back line that the opponents exploited with pace and direct running. The second half offered a brief lifeline for Nigeria. Forward Muiz Adeleke, who of course is the top goal scorer for the tournament, found the net from the penalty spot to make it 3-1, briefly lifting the mood on the Nigerian bench. But the Burkina Faso team sealed the win late on with a fourth goal, putting the results beyond doubt at 4-1. And this is the second time in the tournament that the young Stallions had beaten the Flying Eagles, having also beaten them in the group stage meeting. And Burkina Faso walked away with the regional trophy and will now join host Ghana as flag bearers of WAFCON B zone at next year's Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. So this means we're not going to be at the Under-20 Cup of Nations. All right. Now, away from all of that to news making the rounds with regard to transfers. Como have completed the signing of Trevor Chalobah from Chelsea in a deal worth more than 30 million euros. And this was reported on Saturday. The 27-year-old defender has signed a 5-year contract with the Italian club, who are preparing for Champions League football after finishing 4th in Serie A last season. Chelsea will receive an initial 25.7 million for Chalobah, with a further 5.1 million available in performance-related add-ons. And Como manager Cesc Fabregas welcomed the signing, describing Chalobah as an important addition who can raise the team's level. And finally, Andoni Iraiola's first Anfield match as Liverpool manager ended in a 3-2 friendly defeat by Monaco after his side squandered a 2-goal lead for the second week in a row. Of course, we're looking forward to the start of the new season and what that holds for football fans. But this is the much you can take on sports this morning.